Welcome to Daisha Breedlove Presents. Now, I have a very special guest in today. He's a fashion designer with over 8 years of experience in the fashion industry, and he was also featured on Fox News. Now, let's meet Garry Claire from the Garcee Collection. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Good. Now, Garry, I did get a chance to look over all your stuff, and I will say your story was very inspiring. Now, tell myself and also the viewers out there, a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the fashion industry.
I got started by just having a love for fashion. Pretty much growing up in the inner city, Los Angeles, Inglewood, you're around creativity all day. So me just being around my family, my dad from Belize, my mom from LA, going to functions, going to parties and stuff and seeing them how they gather and dressed up got me into fashion. And then, like I said, not being able to afford a lot of clothing when I was growing up, the stuff that I wanted to buy, I started being more creative with it myself and taking clothes apart, putting it back together, putting a twist to it. So that's pretty much how Garcee got started.
Nice. Yeah, I did read that. I noticed that your family, they were very supportive of, your dream. And I will say, too, like, that's a big part of, being an entrepreneur, having a supportive family system. Because, if you don't have that, it's like, it's hard to really go after it, without that support system. So that's really good.
Thank you.
So I also noticed, couldn't help but to read, but you said you watched your parents rock their 70s fashion. And that also kind of is what helped open your eye up to the fashion industry. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, just going through my parents' closet. Sometimes I would being younger, certain things that my dad had, I can kind of rock it to school. And so I couldn't rock his shoes, them big old bell bottom, platform type shoes. But certain styles he had, I would rock it to school, and people would be like, "Oh, that's pretty dope," and stuff like that. So just seeing my dad's style and growing up with my dad, and like I said, him being Caribbean, they have a certain type of swag. So
no, the 70s fashion was crazy back in the day. The whole Afro puffs and the shoes and the pants. I definitely missed that. So that's amazing. Yeah, so that was awesome. So being from LA and growing up in the 90s and trying to achieve all that, I also noticed that you didn't seem to get involved in any gang related activities, correct?
Not at all. Not gonna lie, I had around me all day, but I had family that was a part of that life, but made sure that I wasn't a part of that life. So they always made to keep me on the straight and narrow. We doing this, but you don't have to do this. We want you to go to school. We want you to learn. We gonna teach you the game of the streets, but you don't need to be a part of the streets. Yeah,
that's amazing. Cause back in the 90s in LA, I noticed gangs was huge back then.
Yeah, very.
So
I pretty much grew up on 52nd, Slauson, so I was near deep in that culture right there.
Yeah.
So, but it's sometimes when people know and they look at you and they be like, okay, he's not a part of that life, but they make sure that you're okay and they want to take care of you.
Yeah.
So I had that type of environment.
Yeah. So those are some good parents. It sounds like you had some. It sounds like you had some strict parents at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
My mom, my dad didn't play none of that, but like I said, they knew the environment, they knew the lifestyle, but they made sure I wasn't a part.
They
of
knew you had goals to become this. So
I don't know. I was pretty much all over the place when
really?
I was younger. So this is this came later on.
I'm like, that's surprising because he seems pretty put together, wouldn't you say? Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, that's a huge accomplishment. So kudos to you, for not getting into that. Okay, so now let's get into more of the Garcee Collection. So what type of category would you say the Garcee Collection fits in? Would you say it's streetwear, upscale, high fashion? Where would you place the clothing?
Definitely for the streets, as far as just the lifestyle of being very in tune to knowing yourself and being who you want to be and what you're striving for. Being a go-getter, being mindful and just never giving up. Yeah. And then luxury style, but still comfortable wear.
Yeah. Okay, so you mix it with streetwear and also casual.
Casual, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Now, I did pull a few of my favorite looks from the Garcee collection. Now, I must say, my most favorite one was this yellow jacket. And he's going to tell us a little bit about where he got that collection from as well. We're going to pull it up for you. But that yellow jacket, I may have to cop that myself because that's super fly.
I got you.
Yeah, that is super fly. So let's pull that up on the screen. And Garry, tell us a little bit about, what was you thinking when you made this, and also how much does it run?
Honestly, when I create, I draw something that, funny thing, some of my clothing comes from like me dreaming.
Wow.
Like I'll go to sleep and then I'll have a thought or whatever design, or I'm just like at an event, but I can see what I'm wearing or someone else is wearing. And then when I wake up, then I'll kind of like draw it down and jog it down, whatever. And then I'll play with it later to keep on figuring out how I want to put the pieces together. So that pretty much is how that jacket came to part. It was just like I saw me in a dream, and I was like at an event, and I could see this jacket.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the colors detail, but I knew it was gonna be the way it came out.
Yeah, because I can definitely see the 70s style in that.
Yeah.
That yellow, the yellow and the plaid, like it's super fire.
Yeah,
so I
so-
may have to cop that for sure.
Alright.
So how much does it normally run?
Once I put everything together, it rounds up to like $380.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's nice.
Yeah,
So is it for men and women?
Yeah,
Unisex,
a
or-
lot of. I mean, I have a lot of guys that purchase it, but I feel like I have more women that rock it more and buy it.
Yeah, it's also giving me like New York vibes a little bit. I'm like, okay, I like this.
Sure.
Yeah,
Probably a lot of people in Texas need it right now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty cold in Texas for sure. So another one that I must say I really, really liked. I really love trench coats, so I had to pull up the black trench. Let's pull that up so they can see that. Okay. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to do the black trench, and also how much does that cost as well? Is it the same as the yellow or like
same value?
Okay.
Same cut, same detail, and when I was just out looking for the fabric, that black and that silver just caught my attention. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that color with the gold one, and then I'm gonna do a black one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's the same exact price as the yellow trench.
Yeah.
Which is $380.
$380.
Okay. Cool. Nice. Looks good. Oh wait. So cool. Yeah, I'm definitely have to cop that, and that's amazing. Now I also know that we're still semi in a pandemic, and a lot of fashion shows have stopped.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But with that, what would you say is next for the Garcee collection, so people can see a little bit more, about what you guys are offering?
Well, right now I've been big on this, doing a lot of designs. Like one of the shirts I'm wearing right now is a tribute to all of our fallen greats.
Oh, is that from the Garcee collection too?
Yeah,
Okay, we
so-
gotta zoom in on that. let's check this.
Whatever they did to get you here. So now it's time for you to leave your stamp.
Wow, that's good. And how much does that hoodie run?
60.
60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you would say since the fashion show have stopped, have you been using like social media to kind of show people what's new out there, or like how do you put it out there so people can see it?
Well, for me, I've been able and been blessed to be surrounded by a lot of like key people in the industry. So CC from K-Day has been helping me.
Wow.
Fox 11, Christine Devine has been supporting me since day one. So those are the other platforms that I use, but definitely social media. People that really want to get their stuff out there, don't shy away from social media.
Yeah, that's huge.
DMs, whatever you have to do is a new outlet to help you move where you need to go and push forward. So use all of them. If you got to use TikTok, whatever outlets that is fun, is gravitating and brings a lot of attention, use it.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So another thing we definitely have to tap into before you leave us today is we couldn't help but notice that you were on Fox News LA. Congrats on that. That's huge.
Thank you.
Yeah, so how did you get that opportunity?
I was doing another design. That's when during the pandemic and everything. What I mean by the bubble, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm like, what's the bubble? Let's clarify that.
That's when the NBA went shut down, so they got pushed to the bubble. So I came out when everything was going down, when a lot of our people was just out here getting murdered on the street, and we needed to create a more sustained voice for ourselves and let America know that we're sick and tired. We're done playing the fiddle to your bullshit. So I created a shirt called "America Has Failed Us Again," and then I wrote all the names of the people that passed away through police brutality and stuff like that.
Wow.
So she saw it. First a designer reached out to me, got it to one of the Utah players, Devin Mitchell, and gave it to him, and then he wore it and rocked it, made the platform, and then she reached out and she wanted to speak upon it, and then that's how I made it to Fox News.
Wow.
For that segment, but I had been on Fox News before.
Oh, so you were there you were there more than once.
Yeah.
And when you were there the first time, was it for the same thing, or what was you there?
I
wasn't aware of that. He's been on Fox News a couple times. Okay.
The first one was my first solo release of my own fashion show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like I said, I used social media and I reached out to her, and I knew she was into fashion. She was posting a lot of stuff about fashion, being a part of fashion events, and I reached out to her and I said, hey, I would love you to be a part of my first show. And she came aboard, and then she hosted, and we did it from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you never know. Some people are shy when people have a big name or like a lot of following to reach out to them like, oh, no, they're not going to get back to me. But as you can see, she didn't. She ended up being in your show. So, like you say, you just got to go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Definitely. Okay, cool. So, what would you say viewers need to, before you leave us, tell us what viewers need to be on the lookout for the Garcee Collection, or what would you say is next?
Right now I'm getting back into my sewing. So I do have a lot of more custom collection that I'm working on. I don't want to give too much, but just follow me. You might definitely gonna see something you like. So
nice.
yeah, I got some stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, tell everybody where they can find you at, and what's the best way to reach you before you leave us today.
My platform, as far as like my website, it's the abbreviation of my name, so it's GARRCEE Collection. So that's Garcee Collection. That's .com for the website, and if you just want to find me on Instagram, same thing, GARRCEE Collection.
Nice, nice. Okay, so definitely follow him at the Garcee Collection. And Garry, one last final question before you leave us today. So if you could leave viewers or future entrepreneurs out there with any advice or any tips, what would you say?
Don't be afraid to be you. Whatever. Don't allow anyone to dictate who you want to be. So if you have strong vibe about anything, sitting here, being a host, creating your own platform, designing, playing sports, being a doctor, lawyer, like whatever you're passionate, it starts for you first. And that's what my G logo stands for. The G with the 2 dots, it's a Greek symbol that stands for you. So whatever you're passionate about, whatever you want in life, starts with you first.
Nice. Okay, thank you, Garry Claire, everybody. Thanks for letting us know. And you're going to have to come back for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. So that wraps it up, guys, for Daisha Breedlove Presents. And see you soon with another segment next week.